Hello everyone, I, Anjali Patel from class BSc 5th SAM CBZ section D2 is going to present a slideshow on the topic Introduction to Vaccine. As we all listen that vaccines are so important in our lives, let's know more about it. Vaccine. Vaccine is a preparation, suspension, or extract of that attenuated germs of a disease which an inoculation into a healthy person provides temporary, permanent, active, passive immunity by inducing antibodies formation. Thus, antibody provoking agents are called vaccines. The principle of immunization or vaccination is based on the property of memory of the immune systems. Vaccines also generate memory B and T cells that recognize the pathogen quickly. In snake bites, the injection which is given to the patients contains preformed antibodies against the snake venom. This type of immunization is called passive immunization. The process of introduction of vaccine into an individual to provide protection against the disease is called vaccination. In vaccination, a preparation of antigenic proteins of pathogens or inactivated weakened pathogens is introduced into the body. These antigens generate the primary immune response in the mammary B and T cells. When the vaccinated person is attacked by the same pathogen, the existing mammary T or B cells recognize the antigen quickly and attack the invaders with a massive production of lymphocytes and antibodies. Vaccination and immunization are two different processes. Vaccination only refers to the administration of a vaccine or toxoid, while immunization is the process by which the body produces antibodies against the vaccine preventable diseases through the administration of specific vaccines. These are used to protect us and our domestic animals against viral and bacterial diseases. Let's know about the history of vaccines. The terms vaccine and vaccination are derived from variola vaccine, the term devised by Edward Jenner to denote cowpox. He used the phrase in 1798 for the long title of his inquiry into the variola vaccine known as the cowpox, in which he described the protective effect of cowpox against smallpox. In 1881, to honor Jenner, Louis Pasteur proposed that the term should be extended to cover the new protective inoculations then being developed. Types of vaccines. There are many different basic types of vaccines. First, attenuated whole agent vaccines use living but attenuated or weakened microbes. Example of attenuated vaccines are the Sabin polio vaccine and those used against measles, mumps and rubella. The widely used vaccine against the tuberculosis bacillus and certain of the newly introduced orally administered typhoid vaccines contain attenuated bacteria. Second, inactivated whole agent vaccines use microbes that have been killed. Inactivated virus vaccines used in humans include those against rabies, influenza, and polio. Inactivated bacterial vaccines include those for pneumococcal pneumonia, cholera, pertussis, and typhoid. Third, toxoids, which are inactivated toxins, are vaccines directed at the toxins produced by a pathogen. Examples, vaccines against tetanus and diphtheria. Fourth, subunit vaccines use only those antigenic fragments of a microorganism that best stimulate an immune response. Subunit vaccines that are produced by genetic modification techniques, meaning that other microbes are programmed to produce the desired antigenic fraction, are called recombinant vaccines. For example, the vaccine against the hepatitis B virus consists of a portion of the viral protein coat that is produced by genetically modified yeast. Fifth, conjugated vaccines that have been developed in recent years to deal with the poor immune response of children. The polysaccharides are combined with proteins such as diphtheria toxoid. This approach has led to the very successful vaccine for hemophilic influenza type B, which gives significant protection. Sixth, nucleic acid vaccines or DNA vaccines are among the newest and most promising vaccines, although they have not yet resulted in any commercial vaccines for humans. Experiments with animals show that plasmids of naked DNA injected into muscle results in the production of protein encoded in the DNA. These proteins stimulate an immune response. A problem with this type of vaccine is that the DNA remains effective only until it is degraded. Indications are that RNA, which could replicate in the recipient, might be a more effective agent. Vaccines are also classified as follows. First generation vaccines. These are produced by conventional methods, example smallpox vaccine, Sal's polio vaccine. Second generation vaccines. These are prepared with the help of genetic engineering techniques, example vaccine against hepatitis B and herpes virus. Third generation vaccines. These are synthetic vaccines which are under trial. How do vaccines work? Vaccines help develop immunity by imitating an infection. This type of infection, however, almost never causes illness, but it does cause the immune system to produce T lymphocytes and antibodies. Sometimes, after getting a vaccine, the imitation infection can cause minor symptoms, such as fever. Such minor symptoms are normal and should be expected as the body builds immunity. Once the imitation infection goes away, the body is left with a supply of memory T lymphocytes as well as B lymphocytes that will remember how to fight that disease in the future. However, it typically takes a few weeks for the body to produce T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes after vaccination. Therefore, it is possible that a person infected with a disease just before or just after vaccination could develop symptoms and get a disease because the vaccine has not had enough time to provide protection. As we all know that COVID-19 had adversely affected each and everybody's life, let us talk about COVID-19 and its vaccine. A COVID-19 vaccine is a hypothetical vaccine to be used against the coronavirus disease. The world is in the midst of a COVID-19 pandemic as WHO and partners work together on the response, tracking the pandemic, advising on critical interventions, distributing vital medical supplies to those in need. They are racing to develop and deploy safe and effective vaccines. Vaccines save millions of lives each year. There are currently more than 50 COVID-19 vaccine candidates in trial. WHO is working in collaboration with scientists, business, and global health organizations through the ACT Accelerator to speed up the pandemic response. When a safe and effective vaccine is found, COVAX will facilitate the equitable access and distribution of these vaccines to protect people in all countries. People most at risk will be prioritized. While we work towards rolling out a safe and effective vaccine fairly, we must continue the essential public health actions to suppress transmission and reduce mortality. Here I end my presentation. Thank you.